You can't sleep. You cannot sleep. There's nowhere safe to sleep. You have to stay up and stay moving too, especially if it's wintertime. I used to ride my bike around all night long. All night long, then I'd crash in a park at dawn. You don't want to be caught just sitting there still because it is significantly more painful on your body. The cold is horrendously painful. Let me tell you, concrete holds the cold. You think that it's numbing, right? No, it hurts. I started using because I was on the street. I started using to stay awake. If I had to stay awake for the rest of my life, I was going to stay awake if I had to. And alert. There was no such thing as getting stoned and just, hanging out or whatever. No. High alert 24/7, no opportunity to rest, relax, or anything. Because being a female on the street is dangerous.
Before Sarah Stouffer lived on the streets, she grew up in San Jose, California. Her father passed away when she was 6, and so under the wing of her protective mother, she grew up a lonely child. Maybe overly protective.
She was very independent, very strong. She raised me very sheltered, because she loved me, and she didn't want me to struggle the way that she did. She didn't want me to see the things that she saw. She didn't want me to hurt the way she did. But it kind of backfired, because when life took her from me in 2013, I was kind of thrown to the wolves. Quite a bit thrown to the wolves. I was 30 years old and I'd never lived anywhere except at home. I had never paid a bill myself before. I was completely just green.
Soon after losing her mother, Sarah also lost the house they lived in. With her foundation shaken, in addition to lacking experience, Sarah was not prepared for the hairpin curves life threw at her, including a landlord that kicked her out of her apartment.
And he said I owed him back rent that I did not owe. He sued me for it, in fact. His own attorneys dropped the case because they found evidence that I owed him nothing. So then he reported me as a squatter. And the sheriffs walk into my apartment with a key and start changing the locks, and they gave me 5 minutes to get out of my house.
Sarah soon found herself living homeless. Besides battling the harsh bite of winter, Sarah battled boyfriends.
He had whipped my behind right there on Stockton Boulevard.
The law.
The only thing that was holding me back was my record.
Drugs.
I was still getting high.
And was even robbed at gunpoint. Maybe worse than wondering at that moment if she would be shot was the humiliating treatment she received from her assailant.
I got maybe about 20, 30 feet down the street, and I doubled over and threw up right there in the middle of the street. I felt like I was gonna pee, poo, throw up, pass out, everything, every function you can imagine felt like it was happening all at once. And I just kept thinking, I can't believe that these people are watching me do this right now. After they already tore me down to nothing by taking my stuff like they did, made me fear for my life. Now I have to sit here and throw up in front of them like a punk. Like I didn't already feel punked enough. I've never gotten over that. I've never gotten over it.
Being homeless is like being banished. No one wants to look at you, recognize you, let alone give a helping hand. But there are exceptions.
Well, this one cop, he made a call to Sacramento Self-Help Housing, contacted the navigator that they were working with, Gabby Yost, and he asked her to make us a priority. About 4 months later, we finally got the call. So they show us a vacant unit, and I lost it. I was so overwhelmed with it, so grateful. I just couldn't, I was floored. It was better than winning the lottery, honestly.
Though housed, Sarah didn't forget her winter traumas. On the app Nextdoor, she submitted a post asking her neighbors to join in on her project, Hugs for Homeless, which provided emergency Mylar sleeping bags to those still sleeping out in frigid temperatures.
I posted it before I went to bed one night, and By the very following morning, I had hundreds of responses from people. We would go out after dark on our bikes. We'd load up our handlebars with all of these hugs and load some up into our backpack too. And we'd go looking for people in the night that were laying there and needed some sort of something.
Unbeknownst to Sarah, Erin Johansson, CEO of Hope Cooperative, had also read the post and contacted her.
And I just private messaged her and asked her if she wanted a job. And that became a correspondence, and she definitely jumped on the opportunity. And at the time, she only had a bike, she didn't have a car, and she came to work for us, and this has been almost 2 years now, where she is now a housing coordinator, and she's working in our new Outreach and Engagement Center.
Hope Cooperative saw Sarah's experiences not as obstacles, but as a benefit. Giving her a chance at employment, Sarah has risen to the occasion, making a real difference in the lives of others.
My whole life changed. It changed when I became housed. But now, I had a genuine shot of doing something with myself. All other employers wouldn't hire me because of my record. Like I said, I couldn't even get hired as a dog walker. Literally was denied being a dog walker. Hope opened doors for me that previously were closed.